Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking a truly magical journey. We're going to be looking at the story of a super creative kid named Noah and exploring his adventure in the Rainbow Kingdom. Now, on the surface, it's a colorful adventure, right? But as we'll see, it's actually this brilliant look at how kindness isn't just some nice trait to have, it's an absolute superpower. So, whether you're looking for a burst of creativity today or just a solid reminder of how empathy impacts the world, you are definitely in the right place. Let's get right into it.
Imagine for a second that you're digging around in a dusty, quiet place. Like your grandmother's attic. Suddenly, you stumble on this old wooden box, completely covered in golden stars. You open it up, and inside is a beautiful paintbrush that is literally sparkling with rainbow colors. But here's the kicker, the really important part. There's a mysterious note attached that says, "Use this brush with kindness, and magic will follow." That right there is the catalyst for everything we're about to discuss. It's a promise of magic, sure, but with a very specific condition attached: kindness.
So, this brings us to Noah's ordinary world. Noah lives in this incredibly vibrant village called Rainbow Grove, and his defining characteristic? A profound, deep-seated love for art. The kid spends his days drawing dragons, castles, animals, these vast, magical lands. He is a creator in his own right. And this sets the perfect stage, because Noah already has the raw imagination required to handle something as spectacular as that star-covered box and its glowing paintbrush.
Now, what's truly fascinating is the exact moment this magic is fully realized. Noah decides, naturally, he's just got to try this brush out. So he dips it into some paint, draws a simple butterfly, and instead of just sitting there flat on the page, the story gives us this incredible visual: flutter. To Noah's absolute shock, the butterfly literally leaps right off the paper. The magic in this story isn't some abstract metaphor. It is highly literal, and it's happening right in front of him.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer, raw power of the paintbrush. Because, Noah doesn't just stop at one butterfly, would you? He starts painting birds, flowers, bright colorful balloons, and they all physically detach from the canvas and float right up into the real sky. Everything this boy creates springs into vibrant, tangible life. It's just a wonderful representation of how creativity, when you finally unlock it, can completely transform the environment right around you.
But, every hero's journey has to take a turn, right? That night, a tiny rainbow fairy named Prism appears right there in Noah's bedroom. And she hasn't come just to admire his artwork. She brings a warning about a massive crisis centered around something called the Rainbow Gem. So this gem is the magical power source of the entire Rainbow Kingdom. Its one and only job is to prevent all color from vanishing forever. And right now, well, it's missing.
So the stakes of this adventure literally could not be higher. Instead of the breathtaking crystal castles and rainbow rivers the kingdom is famous for, a pretty terrifying reality is starting to take over. Because the gem is gone, the colors are actively fading away into this dull, permanent gray. If they don't act fast, that vibrancy we just talked about, it's going to be lost forever.
To save the kingdom, Noah doesn't even hesitate. The magical paintbrush glows, opens up this swirling rainbow portal, and he steps right across the threshold into this entirely new world. But hey, he isn't doing it alone. A pretty remarkable rescue team forms here. We've got Noah the artist, Prism the tiny fairy who's kind of our guide, and a fantastic new sidekick, Puffy, who is a remarkably cheerful cloud puppy. Together they hit the road, following clues scattered all across this fading land.
To track down the gem, the trio has to tackle a quest that really tests their resolve. First up, they have to navigate these precarious candy bridges. Next, they delve deep into the mysterious glitter caves. And finally, step 3, they have to sail straight across the rushing waters of Rainbow Falls. Every single one of these steps is pulling them closer and closer to the actual source of the kingdom's problem. Finally, deep inside a hidden crystal cave, they actually locate the missing rainbow gem. But it isn't just sitting there unguarded. And this brings us to the most suspenseful question of the whole story. Who took the rainbow gem? We've been building up to this huge confrontation, totally expecting some fearsome monster or a greedy villain plotting to plunge the world into grayness, right?
But here is where the story flips the script. We discover the quote-unquote thief isn't a villain at all. The gem is actually being fiercely protected by a lonely young unicorn named Starshine. And her reason for stealing the kingdom's most precious artifact? It is beautifully heartbreaking. She tells them, "I took it because I thought nobody liked me."
She wasn't trying to destroy the kingdom. She was just incredibly sad, searching for something, anything, that would make her feel valuable and noticed.
And this, right here, is where the true power of our story lies. Notice what Noah does. He doesn't yell. He doesn't try to forcefully wrestle the gem away. He approaches this confrontation with pure empathy. He literally just sits down right beside Starshine and tells her exactly what she needs to hear. You don't need a magical gem to be special. He reminds her that her worth has absolutely nothing to do with an object, no matter how shiny or powerful that object might be.
The rest of the team completely backs him up too. Prism tells Starshine they would love to be her friends, and Puffy wags his tail to show his support. Feeling truly seen and accepted for the first time, Starshine agrees to help. So together, this brand new group of friends returns the rainbow gem to its rightful place. And instantly, boom! The magic is violently and beautifully restored as brilliant colors just explode all across the kingdom.
This scene perfectly highlights the reward of their quest, and it is a total visual feast. The rainbow rivers immediately start to shimmer again. The wilted flowers suddenly burst into full bloom. And those magnificent crystal castles, they sparkle brighter than they ever did before. The entire kingdom just erupts into celebration, cheering not just for the return of their colors, but for Noah and his new friends who made it happen.
Of course, the adventure has to conclude with a return to the ordinary world. The very next morning, Noah wakes up back in his own bed in Rainbow Grove. It's completely natural for him to wonder, was it all just a wonderfully vivid dream? But then he glances over at his desk. Sitting right there is the magical paintbrush. And, just to prove that the Rainbow Kingdom was real all along, its rainbow bristles are glowing softly right there in the morning sunlight.
Distilling this all down, the core takeaway from Noah's journey is just incredibly poignant. Yes, Noah had a literal magic paintbrush, but the real magic, that was his capacity for empathy. The moral here is essentially twofold. First, everyone is special in their own unique way. You definitely don't need a stolen gem to prove it. And secondly, it is true friendship and understanding that actually bring color to our world.
To wrap up this magical journey, I want to leave you with the final provocative thought about the power of your own actions. Look, you might not have a glowing paintbrush sitting up in your attic, but you absolutely have the ability to change someone's day. So how will you use kindness to bring color to your world today? Just think about that as you go about your day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep looking for the magic around you.
For more interesting videos, subscribe our YouTube channel